Hello, this video is bike blog from Poland to northern Finland. Today is the 4th of August 2010. The last bike tour blog I did was in Warsaw, Poland. So after that day, I went and checked out the zoo of Warsaw, Poland, which was very fun for me. I love watching animals. And then I went to the titty bar that night. Actually, it was the 4th time in my life I'd been to a titty bar. Once in Boulder, once in in Sao Paulo, once in Austin, and then here, because I saw the flyer for it in my hostel, and I wanted to spend some money and get drunk and have a crazy night. There was this other disco I could have gone to because somebody was passing out flyers, but I looked at the address and it looked like I wasn't going to be able to find it, so went to the titty bar. And there were these guys there at the bachelor party who I was hanging out with, and they were like, they already chipped in for their big vodka, so I drank their vodka, and I got really drunk and hung out with them. And they kind of thought I was like an idiot for being there. They were like, "What are you doing here?" But it was kind of cool to watch chicks dancing, take their tops off, but that titty bar sucked. I was like the only one in there, apart from these guys, and then they came, but these girls, they'd like dance the whole time, and then they take their top off like as they're leaving the stage, which is like in Boulder. I think Boulder's legendary actually, the bus stop, and I've only been there once, but I'm gonna go back because the girls jump on stage and they get completely naked and dance the entire song, and they're like smiling at you and dancing, and they're hot as hell, and then they leave after one song and then another one comes. I was there for like 2 or 3 hours, and it was like that constantly. It was never the same girl twice, I think. So, I mean, it blew this Polish place out of the water, man. Also in Austin was crappy compared to Boulder. The one in Sao Paulo, they were kind of like Boulder, but they weren't nearly as hot. Anyways, I left that place. Kind of spent a lot of time on that, didn't I? I left that place at like 5 in the morning. And like those guys invited me to go to their after dance place or whatever. They're really cool. They can all speak English and stuff. But I went to my hostel and slept for like 2 hours, because then I had to get the train at 7:30 in the morning. So I threw my bike on the train at 7:30 in the morning, and I took the train all the way to Vilnius, Lithuania. And I was on the train, and the train guy's like, "You need to pay 8 Lithuanian monies." But I didn't have it. I didn't even know I was in Lithuania, because I guess in the EU there's no border crossing. So, you know, after I entered there, after I got to Poland, there's no border crossing. But luckily there was this Polish girls on the train who traded money for me with me, so that was cool. So I was in Vilnius in Lithuania. I spent a whole day in Lithuania. One night and one full day, and that was a pretty place. I'll talk about it on what I think about Lithuania. Yeah, so then that night I took the night train again. So it was like one night train or a morning train. And then and it was pretty much all day. So then I spent that night there, and then the whole next day checking out Vilnius, you know, with all my stuff with me. And then that night I took the night train to Riga, Latvia. And I got there at like 11, and it was still kind of light out, so it was cool. Because you know, now I'm starting to feel like I'm going north. And then I did the hostel there one night, and then left that day, you know. But they let me keep my stuff there, so I did the tour of Riga, Latvia that day. And then which is a really pretty place. I'll talk about it, what I think about Latvia. And then I got on the night train again, and took the train to Tallinn. Or not the night train, I took the bus. Once I got to the Baltics, I was taking the bus. Oh my God, and the buses there, oh my God, they're off the hook. They're like, they have internet, on the bus. They gave me like the business class, and go business class, man, because you get your own table, you get internet. I had 2 outlets, you know, each person gets an outlet, but the guy next to me wasn't using it, so they charged all of your stuff. And I mean, all you can drink coffee, 10 different kinds of coffee, all you can drink. You know, a nice bathroom right there. I mean, it's insane. So, yeah, so I took the bus, one of these buses, to Tallinn, Estonia, and I got there late, got the hotel, or the hostel, which is a really cool hostel called the Euphoria Hostel. And the hostel actually that I got in Riga was really cool too. It was called the Screwy Squirrel, or the Naughty Squirrel, also known as the Argonaut or something. But I got to Tallinn and then spent a night there, and then I think brought all my gear with me, had all my stuff with me, or no, I stored my stuff there, and I did the tour of Tallinn that day, and then I took the night boat into Helsinki, and then I spent a night, because I got there really late at night, I spent a night there in Helsinki hostel, which was 25 euros, like 26 euros. All of a sudden I'm spending like tons of money. Like the hostel in Tallinn was like 10 euro or something, 12 euro. Same thing with Riga, same thing with like Latvia, Estonia, or Lithuania. Yeah, but I could have stayed couch surfing. Like there were 2 people, there were a bunch of people who seemed interested, but you know, they couldn't do it at the time. But there were 2 people who actually allowed me to do it there, and I only wrote them like a couple days beforehand, so that was cool. So anyways, yeah, I stayed with. So then the next day, I toured all of Helsinki, checking it out, all the sites. Went down, but I'll talk about that, I guess, what I think about Finland. But I saw their island fortress and everything. And then I stayed with this girl, Essie, from the couch surfing. And then got up the next morning, or I slept in the next day. And her roommates, actually, they made me a sandwich. That was cool. And then I was going to leave that day, but then I realized there was some stuff I needed to do. I was sitting there in the grass, and I heard this explosion, and my tire, my tube has popped out of the top of my tire from like a hole that was created from hitting a rock or something. So I pumped it up just a little bit, and I rode down, then it popped on the way to the bike stop. So I bought a new tire, actually bought 2 new tires, and I've replaced my other back tire. So I have an extra tire, but it's the old tire. And I got some other stuff too that I needed to get, butt patch kit, and stuff. And yeah. So then I left the next day at 4:30, because that's when Essie got up, and I just left her. And I actually started riding at 5:30 because I was doing the internet, because there was internet outside of the apartment building. So I left at 5:30, and I rode like 240 miles that day. But I went all the way up to Kuopio, because Essie said there was this rainbow gathering up there. So then I got to Kuopio, but then I looked on the internet, and it turned out it was like 20 miles south. So then I rode 20 miles south, so I rode like 30 miles that day. And I did the rainbow gathering one day, 2 full nights, one day. And then I got up the next day at like 9:30, and I couldn't find stuff. It took me a while to get packed, so I started riding at 11 in the morning. And the rainbow gathering was really fun, but I still talk about that in the video about what I think about rainbow gathering. I left at 11, and I rode all day and all night, and then all day the next day. And that was I passed out in a burger joint in the morning for like 3 hours, because I had to get through the night without any caffeine, because all the stores were closed. So anyways, that ride was 370 miles. So that was the biggest ride that I've ever done. It took me 33.5 hours. That's including like getting lost 3 times, and passing out for 3 hours, an hour-long lunch at McDonald's, or breakfast at McDonald's. And then I was riding really slowly too, because my left butt cheek was really sore. And it was sore in a really bizarre way, like the most bizarre way I've ever felt in my entire life. Like if I'd ride hard, see my butt cheek got sore from the big ride I did the day before, 2 days before. And like if I ride hard, it would like spasm, it would cramp and feel like excruciating pain, like debilitate me, but it was like orgasmic pain. It was like a different kind of pain. And it was sore in a different kind of way. It felt like jello, like jelly or something. So I would like bang on it, and I started feeling that after about 20 miles, or actually right after the beginning of the day I felt that. But then yeah, anyway, as I got here, and they let me stay here tonight because it's raining really hard all day. So I got my own like hotel room for €7 a night. Okay, I'm out of time.